It is America's show right now, the show of record, where we answer questions on the show, Harry, and then we question answers.
Right.
We just don't accept someone's suppositions, allegations, throwing stuff against the wall. Everything is verified, certified, and then rectified. And then we bring on great people like Ian Eagle from CBS Sports. Another Syracuse guy, but despite that, we still allow him on this very program. And he joins us right now. Ian, how are you, man?
Hey, what's up, guys? Great to hear you. This is the show to be on. I'm going to be rectified.
Exactly right. I believe that's a new series coming up on HBO Plus starting this weekend.
Yeah.
It is. It's a mid-season replacement. I'm very excited.
Now, we had Jody Mack on. I heard you going on his show this weekend, but I said, we got to get all the questions and the good questions, and Jody can listen in so he'll know what to ask you when you go on his show.
Yes, give him a playbook, Tony.
All right, I the first thing, of course, is, you do the Nets games. You obviously do everything, CBS, but you're the voice of the Nets. So as far as the NBA Reboot is concerned, will you have any participation in this?
I will have participation. The question is whether or not I'm going to be in Orlando for TNT or am I going to be back in the New York area calling the games remotely. So we're trying to figure that all out. It's changing by the day. I think the NBA is doing its best to really get this thing going and believing that this is sustainable. Clearly there are challenges here, but I do think the league has taken every precaution to at least put the athletes' minds at ease, coaches, staff members. How the broadcasts fit in, I think there are probably some still unanswered questions, but it's going to happen. I think they are very much on board and committed to giving this thing a whirl.
Now, don't you realize that most of the players on your New Jersey, Brooklyn, I keep calling New Jersey, I'm so stuck on that, your Brooklyn Nets don't want to go there? Do you really want to go there?
Yeah, I think it's going to be safe there. I do believe that. But look, we know that this is all a mystery. Everybody is operating under the same guidelines of trying to be safe, trying to be smart. And if the NBA puts its name on it, having been a part of the league in some form for 26 years calling games, I have to believe that they've put everything that needs to be put in place to try to safeguard. But with that said, we are all in the same position of making personal decisions that make sense for you individually. And for me, that's something that I'm going to have to sort out as well when the moment comes.
What kind of roster are they going to be able to field here, Ian? Is this bringing the G League squad with them?
In a way, yeah, there are going to be a few guys. Chris Chiozza, Justin Anderson, who played for the Philadelphia 76ers. Yeah, a couple guys that would not normally be in their rotation. They're going to have to pick somebody up, a big man, to replace DeAndre Jordan. They still have a few days to figure that out before they travel on July the 7th. Yeah, this is no doubt a challenge for them, losing DeAndre Jordan, potentially Spencer Dinwiddie. That's still up in the air, and obviously no Kevin Durant, no Kyrie Irving, no Wilson Chandler. So they're going down there with the idea that this is a chance to still assess talent and make some decisions long-term, because this was never the year that they thought they were going to be a legitimate contender. The whole idea behind the Durant and Irving signings were that 2021 was going to be their big year. But now 2021 isn't exactly what we thought it was going to be. And all we're doing, I know you guys don't like to speculate. You made that very clear, Tony.
Exactly. You know that. I've never done that.
I know. You're not a conjecture guy. You deal with facts. The fact is, we don't know what 2021 is going to look like in the NBA.
Now, back in your Carrier Dome days up there at the Newhouse School,
yeah,
I'm sure you went out on the floor out there and took some shots. Can you dress up and maybe go out and play like a shooting guard position for the Nets?
I mean, I think you're underselling my ability. I could bang in the middle if I had to. I've gained some weight since my senior year of Syracuse. You're talking about someone that has bulked up considerably since weighing in at about $141, 1990 senior year. So whatever they need, whatever the team needs, I'm willing and able, or somewhat able.
And the last question about the Nets, and then we'll move on. But were you able to contribute to the GoFundMe for Spencer Dinwiddie to get his salary commensurate with other great players in the National Basketball Association?
I have no knowledge whatsoever on Bitcoin or any kind of cryptic money. So it's as if he was talking a completely different language. I know he's very bright, and I know that he has an idea of what it is he wants to eventually attain. I have no clue about that whatsoever.
What do you think on the quality level of basketball that we're going to see, at least early on?
Yeah, 3 months off before they go into training camp or mini training camp, and then trying to get their legs under them. I do think even in that 8-game setup, the quote-unquote seeding games, coaches are going to be very smart in how they use their players. And obviously, if you're gunning for a playoff spot, you're New Orleans, you're Memphis, you're Portland, and you're fighting for that 8 seed, you might view it differently than a team like Milwaukee or the Lakers that has probably wrapped up their seeding. Milwaukee already has, and the Lakers, the magic number to wrap up the number 1 seed is very attainable. But again, let's think of it under normal terms. If we were talking about seeding, we'd be talking about, home court advantage and certainly getting a leg up on your competition and easier travel. Well, none of that plays a role anymore. There is no home court advantage. There is no travel. So it's really based on matchups at that point and avoiding teams until later rounds. This is a really unique situation. We've never seen anything like this before. And the part that I think we have to question, guys, is not even the physical part, because, of course, we always put that in the equation. The mental part is so different than anything these guys have ever experienced, and which guys can bring it on a nightly basis without fans, without the natural stimuli that you usually have as an NBA player. Which guys can mentally be there day in, day out, game in, game out, and survive this very unique set of circumstances for what will eventually be a champion crowned in the NBA. I know people have said, it's an asterisk. No, it's not. It's just different. It's very different, and whoever wins it will have earned it.
Yeah, because they played a bulk of their season. It's not like they played 30 games. So they have an actual good representation of what a regular season looked like, minus 8 or 10 games. So
Agreed.
Now let me ask you about the other big question, which is Ronnie Cycli, DJ Ronnie Cycli. Will he be allowed to go down there and spin some hits, some club hits?
Got to entertain
for the guys.
Yeah,
they need entertainment.
Yeah.
I heard they're going to have areas down at Disney World where they'll be able to have outdoor parties. And remember, Ronnie Cycli, another great Syracuse phenomenon, he's going to be there as he's a DJ. He had his own show on Sirius XM Chill on Saturday nights. Yes.
Yes. I feel badly answering this question because I know this was a question Jody Mack was going to ask over the weekend. But, hey, we'll steal his thunder. That's fine. I was in school with Ronnie Cycli. He graduated a year before me. Ronnie was very popular on campus, and Ronnie is an accomplished DJ. We can joke.
I'm not joking. I'm serious.
Yeah.
This guy makes a mint as a DJ, and I know that you're asking this question with some legitimacy behind it. If Ronnie Cycli popped up at some point in the NBA bubble, it would not shock me.
Absolutely. That's why I'm asking it. I listen to Sirius XM Chill on Saturday nights when Ronnie Cycli and all the other great DJs do sets on there.
Yeah, that's 2 plugs for Sirius Chill. I am listening, Tony.
But we're on Sirius XM 211. Don't forget about that either.
211. I have it on my dial. I just got a new car. I will spin it to 211 the second I'm done with the interview. Yes, there's DJs. There's going to be ping pong, Tony and Harry.
No doubles, though. No doubles, though.
No doubles. No, we can't. We can't have that. Who plays doubles ping pong? I've never played doubles ping pong in my life.
It's hard enough to get over with one guy to try to make a diving stop. How do 2 people do it?
Especially the size of these guys.
Exactly.
You know?
Not happening. Yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo playing doubles? It's not going to happen.
With Ben
Doesn't
Simmons.
work.
We're talking to the great Ian Eagle, who doesn't even realize when I'm serious anymore.
I know. Well, you're serious. I know that. I didn't know if you were serious. I knew you were serious.
I guarantee you no one else. I guarantee you even Jody Mack who didn't go to Syracuse wouldn't ask you the Ronnie Cycli question because he probably doesn't know that Ronnie Cycli is a DJ.
No, he'll know now.
Damn right he will.
Everybody knows now. Yeah, 100%.
All right, now let's talk about a couple of teams that could have a chance. We see the Sixers here in Philly. Nobody knows what's happening. Ben Simmons, we see him with his shirt off, dunking.
He's healthy.
Uncontested dunks against people, so he appears to be healthy. We're reading now that Brett Brown says that the guys look good. And what's he going to say? They look bad?
Joel Embiid's in shape.
Yeah, Joel Embiid has not been going to Popeyes or Chick-fil-A every day. I'm not going there either, so I'm taking care of myself.
You went to Popeyes a week or so.
Yeah, it was a week ago. That was just one chicken sandwich.
Is it all that, the chicken sandwich?
Absolutely.
I've not had. It is all that.
I'm telling you, man, you will not go wrong. I was a Chick-fil-A guy. I like all chicken, but one day I went into a Popeyes when they had the sandwich, and I just got one, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I highly recommend. I have no deal with Popeyes. I don't have any chicken, endorsement deals, but if they'd like to sponsor the show, I'm there.
Have you had the Shake Shack chicken sandwich ever?
I've never had the Shake Shack chicken sandwich.
Yeah,
No.
it's solid. Yeah, it's very strong. Very strong. I might have it tonight, now that you've mentioned it. It's incredible. Just your voice mentioning it is enough to conjure up an image of what I want to eat now for dinner, so thank you.
No, thank you. Ian Eagle is CBR. See, now, Ian, there's a legendary family thing going on in sports. Marv Albert and his sons.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks.
Yes.
Right.
Now, I didn't know this. You have a son that's doing action out in L.A. with the Clippers, right?
He is, yeah. My son Noah is in his first year doing play-by-play with the L.A. Clippers. Yep.
So how many kids are you going to have? Are you going to overtake the, because obviously, you look at Marv and he's got three sons doing broadcasting now.
He only has the one, but yeah, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, I mean they're brothers. He has brothers.
Yes.
But Marv's not going to Orlando.
No, he's not, right?
No, it appears he is not. Let's get back to my reproduction.
Yeah, let's get back to it. Now, how many future Eagles will there be out there?
Well, I mean, now that Noah has shown that he's capable, I think I could probably have 5 or 6 more kids and try to really just cover all the bases in all the sports. No, that's it.
It's a final? It is a final.
It is a final, yeah.
Yes, and it's good. I thought you were going to go Kevin Harlan on me,
Yeah.
I have no regard for human life.
All right, since we got you, let's talk football now.
Yeah.
Because
He's
you
gonna
do
have
football.
a new partner.
Yeah, you're gonna have a new partner.
That's right.
I was kind of shocked when the news came about you losing your partner there because I
Dan
thought he
Fouts.
did it. Dan
Yeah.
Fouts sounded the same now as he did 20 years ago. I thought he
Yeah.
did a solid job.
Oh, yeah, Dan's fantastic. We had 10 years together at CBS, which in network years is like an eternity.
Yep.
And the fact that we had such a great time, he's one of my best friends. So this is a lifelong friendship that will continue forever. But, yeah, of course it's disappointing when you grow close to somebody and you spend every week together, 17 weeks, you spend 3 days together. 3/7 of your week is spent with your partner, and we really had a fun run. But Charles Davis is coming in. We've formed a very close Zoom relationship during the pandemic. We can't see one another. He lives down south. I live in the Northeast. But we truly have had Zoom sessions every week for the last 8 weeks to get to know each other, not just talking football, but talking about life and learning about his family and his kids and his background and vice versa. So I feel like we're going to hit the ground running because we've probably interacted more because of this than we would have in a normal off season. And when it comes time to actually call a game, it's not going to feel odd at all. We're already at the next stop, and we're ready to go and do our thing.
Overall, Ian, are you pretty much optimistic about the return of sports? Like once they come back, they'll be able to stay back?
Yeah, I'm optimistic in general, and I'm trying to maintain that positive outlook, but it's very challenging. When you look at 53 players on a football team, 10 players on a practice squad, so you're trying to now have some idea of what 63 players in your own facility are doing outside the facility every single week over 4-month stretch, that's not easy. It's just not going to be a simple plan. And I know the NFL is going to do everything in their power to get this thing going. If it's no fans, if it's 50% capacity, if it's 33% capacity, look, at some point we're going to have to hear the actual plan of how they're going to do it. Their friend has been time. That's been their best friend throughout this process, that they've been able to sit back and wait and watch. But now the clock is ticking, and we're talking about July, and training camps are supposed to open. We've already heard the preseason is probably going to be cut down to 2 games if they even get to that point. I know the league would like to play 1 home game for each team in the preseason just so they can get an understanding of what a game day will look like, how the stadium is set up, how you guide people from A to B to C, the player's safety, all of that. There's just a lot of hurdles here. To answer the question, yes, I want to be optimistic. I want to believe that they have a plan, but we are yet to hear that plan, and it's hard to make an across-the-board opinion on this until you know exactly what we're working with.
And so then we go from doing nothing for a while other than Zoom calls and figuring stuff out to NBA season ends, football season is underway, baseball's going on. How will you be able to juggle all of your assignments?
Yeah, I'm going to look back at that time of a 2-week period, 3-week period where I just was focused on trying to grow facial hair as such an important, pivotal moment in my life. I truly had nothing to wake up and feel any stress, pressure, or angst about, which was a very weird feeling because I do take on a lot of assignments over the course of the year. But like everybody else, we're ready. We're ready to get back. We're ready to do this. We just have to make sure that the rest of the country is ready and that we can truly do this, travel around from city to city to city. The way the NFL is set up, it's not a regional sport for the announcers. It might have to be, but it's not. You could be in Baltimore one week, you could be in L.A. the next week, you could be in Miami the next week, you could be in Vegas the next week, you could be in Kansas City, you could be in Houston. There's no rhyme or reason to it. So until we know that it's safe and that the league can function and sustain itself over a 17-week schedule, it's tough to visualize it right now. You know, what used to be the norm is not anymore, and we have to kind of change the way our brains function when we try to understand and comprehend how much of an undertaking this really is.
Now, on our Twitch stream, we always get a lot of questions. So I got this question posed by Himmel Rover 1977. He says,
"Oh yeah, Himmel."
Ask Ian to say, Ronnie Cycli is getting it on inside in a Marv Albert voice. Can you do that?
Ronnie Cycli is getting it on
inside.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Yes.
That's great.
And the last thing I have is there is a service that is now provided to only the NBA, not the other sports. There is a cam site that is now making it available to all the players, the broadcasters, the coaches down in the bubble on whether or not they would like to not have to go outside and then partake of cam shows in their own privacy of their own hotel rooms.
No, I didn't even hear about this.
Yes, it's big news. I mean, we learn a lot on this show.
Was this in an email?
No, it's a big story.
It's a story.
I think it's in the New York Post, so you know it's legit.
Yeah.
He's like, where was my email? Shouldn't I know about this?
It's weird. I got an email today saying that there's $1.4 million waiting for me in the Congo, and I'm a prince, but I got nothing about the Cam show in Orlando.
And we're not talking Cam Newton's new show up in New England now. We're talking about. And how does this Cam company not make it available to NFL players, to the MLS
Baseball
guys?
players.
MLS guys are ready to start their season restart down in
these
Orlando.
poor hockey players isolated in
Edmonton and in those hub cities in Canada, in
Yeah,
Toronto.
I'd like to do maybe a little more research on this, so
Exactly.
I can answer these questions with some real honest information. Right now, I feel like I'm in the dark on this.
See, he'll give his good answer to Jody over the weekend.
Exactly.
After he does the research.
He'll have time to sleep on it.
Yeah.
And
hey, Ryan, how about the Cam show? What's going on with the Cam?
Hey, Jody, do me a favor. Can you look into this cam show thing? Listen, Harry and I know Jody forever. Everybody loves Jody who's ever been around him. He's phenomenal.
He's the best.
And one last thing, you didn't do any eSports, right, or any of these virtual things that happened during
No. I had some requests to do play-by-play for cam shows, and I decided it probably wasn't my thing.
Well, so did Joe Buck, and he turned that down. I said, I'll take that job if you don't want to do it.
7 figures? Are you kidding me? Bring me in for a honeymoon.
Just really quick, I have a Ronnie Cycli net worth update.
Oh, who asked for it? But since you have it, Robin.
Yes, I do. Because, because you're talking about that he's a really good DJ. He's making boku bucks.
Of course he is. I don't make this stuff up,
When
Robin.
he retired from the NBA, his net worth was approximately $4 million, and since then, his net worth now is up to $10 million. He's making almost $1 million a year doing DJ.
Yeah,
exactly.
He's worth much more than that, though, too, guys.
I'm sure.
Absolutely.
He came to Cuse, and he showed off as well. The man knew how to show everybody what he was all about. That was not an issue for him.
Exactly right. He was no Sherman Douglas, though. He was no Sherman Douglas or some of the other greats from back in the day.
General, B.B. Thompson, Billy Owens. What a time! What a time to be alive.
Exactly. It's always great to talk to you, man. We always see you at the Super Bowl. Great to have you on the show, and really appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you guys. Last time I saw you, Tony, we hugged.
I know we did.
Able to do that.
I'd hug you right now if you were here. I wouldn't be afraid.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's allowed? I didn't know.
Obviously.